Bhāgavatam ki jai. So today we will continue our glorification of Srīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, and we'll start with verse number 45. Please forgive me for the internet distractions yesterday. I was not aware that it was intermittently distracting us. So actually we should go back to verse number 43, sorry, 43. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we'll start with verse number 43. 10, 14, 43. Canto 10 is Samam Bonam. Chapter 14 is Brahma's prayers to Lord Krishna. Verse number 43. Ekasmin api yatebde pranesham chantaratmanah Krishna maya hata rajan kshandharam menirer vakaha. Ekasmin api yatebde pranesham chantaratmanah Krishna maya hata rajan kshanardham menirer vakaha. Word to word. Ekasmin, one, api, although, yate, having passed, abde, your, prana isham, the Lord of their lives, cha, and antara, without, atmanaha, of themselves, Krishna, of Lord Krishna, maya, by the illusory potency, ahataha, covered, rajan, O king, shanardham, half a moment, menire, they thought, Arbaka, the boys. Translation. O king, although the boys had passed an entire year apart from the Lord of their very lives, they had been covered by Lord Krishna's illusory potency and thus considered that year merely half a moment. So this and the next verses can be studied together. 10, 14, 44. Kim kimna vismarantiha Maya mohita chetasaha yanmohitam jagata sarvam abhikshanam vishmratatmakam kim kimna vismarintaha maya mohita chetasaha yanmohitam jagat sarvam abhikshanam vishmratatmakam. Does anyone want to read the word-to-word translation and purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can read.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Kim, what indeed? Na Vishmaranti. Persons do not forget. Iha, in this world. Maya Mohita, bewildered by illusion. Chetasa, whose minds. Yet, by which. Mohitam, bewildered. Jagat, the world. Sarvam, entire. Abhikshanam, constantly. Vishmrita Atmakam, making one forget even one's own self. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
So read the translation purport because of short purport, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. What indeed is not forgotten by those whose minds are bewildered by the Lord's illusionary potency. By that power of Maya, this entire universe remains in perpetual bewilderment. And in this atmosphere of forgetfulness, no one can understand his own identity. Purport. It is clearly stated here that the entire universe is bewildered. Thus, even great demigods like Indra and Brahma are not exempt from the principle of forgetfulness. Since Lord Krishna exercised his internal illusionary potency over his coward boyfriends and calves, it, it is not at all astonishing that for 1 year they could not remember their position. Indeed, by the Lord's external illusionary potency, the conditioned souls forget their existence not only for 1 year but for many billions and billions of years as they transmigrate throughout the kingdom of ignorance called the material world. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, these two verses, we can see that in the spiritual world, Krishna covers the residents of Vrindavan by his Yoga Maya potency. And in the material world, we are covered by the Mahamaya potency. Works very similar, but as Prabhupada gives an example, that the same energy is used, but if you use it in air conditioner, it is cooling, and if you use it in oven, it is heating. So Yoga Maya is covered the residents of Vrindavan, the cowherd boys, and even the 1 year had passed, Krishna, the cowherd boys are thinking, Krishna is just gone and he has just come back very quickly. So Kshana Ardham is half a moment. And what has happened is, even though the Lord of their lives, just imagine, we hear in the Shikshashtakam, the last verse, that one moment is like 12 years or more. But here it was almost 1 year, but because of the influence of Yoga Maya, they thought it is just a half a moment. Prana Isham, the Lord of their lives, and Atmanaha of themselves. And Antara, so without any time lapse, Krishna, they thought, has just returned within half a moment. Whereas in our case, what happens is, what indeed is not forgotten. By who? By us, whose minds are bewildered by the Lord's illusory potency. Day before yesterday and yesterday, Gokuleshwar Prabhu gave a very nice Bhāgavatam class at the temple, and he explained that each one of us have forgotten our original identity as servant of the Lord. And because we have forgotten, we are thinking, I am this, I am this, I am this. And he gave an example of a rose lying on, rose in a garden. And he says, if a boy sees the rose, he thinks it's a gift given to his girlfriend. If a girl sees the rose, she thinks it's a shingar for my hair. If if a pujari sees the rose, he thinks this is an offering to the Lord. So this way, many people, and each one of us, when we see different objects, we just see according to our conditioning, forgetting that everything has to be used in Krishna's service. So Vismrata Atmakam. Vismrata means forgetting, and who? Atmakam. Making one forget even one's own self. So we see here the Brahmaji's prayers have ended, and Krishna is coming back. Now for us also, when we are chanting our rounds every day, and when we are praying to the Lord to please accept us and please engage in our devotional service, there will be difficulties, there will be doubts, there will be distractions, there will be dryness. These distractions will come, but one, by again focusing on the holy name, doubts will come whether what I am doing is correct. So many other people are not doing it. I am in the complete smallest minority here. In the whole world, how many of people are actually getting up early in the morning and chanting Hare Krishna? Very few people. How many people are ready to go to work now? But we are about 18 or 20 of us here. So we see that doubts are haunting us, that is the prayer working here? But then, as Prabhupada says, that the only weapon we have is prayer. And if we pray daily to Krishna, Krishna is definitely going to hear our prayers and help us out in understanding our real identity. That's what actually you're praying for. Krishna, please accept me as a spirit soul and engage me in your devotional service. So we don't want to, as this verse says, this entire universe remains in perpetual bewilderment. Just imagine the situation. We have got this very, very rare fortune, very rare opportunity to actually know who we are. In the whole sojourn of our material life, by some great fortune, by our Guru's intervention, we have come to this stage. And the purport, the last sentence, he says, that conditioned souls forget their existence not only for 1 year, as the cowherd boys did, but for many billions and billions of years. Just think about that. Billions of years, we are transmigrating throughout the kingdom of ignorance, not through kingdom of God, throughout the kingdom of ignorance called the material world. So even though we think we are the Lord of all what we survey, but still it is the kingdom of ignorance. So when doubts are there, distractions are there. Distractions come in many ways. We start chanting, thinking that yes, today I'm going to focus, and distractions come. I have to do this, I have to do that. So many distractions come. And then the doubts are already there, distractions there, and then dryness comes because we are not tasting the nectar of the holy name. But if we continue the way Brahma is praying, the way Prahlad Maharaj is praying, the way so many wonderful devotees are praying, when we understand our own identity, when we understand that I'm a servant of the Lord, and when we practice devotional service, one thing which is happening very slowly, which we are not noticing, what's happening is that we are becoming purified every day. As we know, a drop of water every day wears away even the stone. So our hearts are like stone, but what's happening? The drop of prayer every day is wearing our stone-like heart. And then when we speak to others, automatically people will understand that this person has got my interest in the heart. We actually don't have to really try hard. Many times when devotees speak to each other that, how can we preach? If we are pure enough, preaching will happen automatically. We should have the desire to preach, and Krishna will put words in our mouth which will touch the hearts of other people. What does Prahlad Maharaj say in the 7th canto? Very wonderful. He is not interested in his own liberation. Prahlad Maharaj is saying, my dear Lord Nrsimhadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but what they are interested? Only in their own deliverance. Not caring for the big cities and towns, they go to the Himalayas or forest to meditate with vows of silence, Mauna Vrata. They are not interested in delivering others. But as for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. So Srila Prabhupada is following in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj, in the footsteps of Narad Muni. So Prahlad Maharaj says, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. So in this material world, we are trying to be happy without taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, without being Krishna conscious. We cannot be happy. Prahlad Maharaj says, therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet. So this is what Prahlad Maharaj says. This is what Narad Muni, his guru, says. This is what Prabhupada says. And this is what we also should pray for. That, oh my Lord, I do not want to go alone to the spiritual world. I want to take as many devotees as possible with me. What is the secret? We are trying, but we are not getting the taste. The secret is endure and never give up. Endure and never give up. So when we understand that we are covered by Mahamaya here, we want to go to a place, take part in Krishna's pastimes, covered by Yogamaya. That's a better position, of course. So what we do is, even though we don't get taste, doubts are haunting us, distractions are, pouring from all the sides. We don't get any taste, there's dryness. We should endure and never give up. And If we cannot do it alone, of course, we should do it in association of devotees. And one thing is there, we will not be able to do alone on our own ever. Prabhupada says that one who thinks that one can become Krishna conscious on his own is number one fool. So, while understanding our own position stuck in the material world, we have forgotten our existence as the spirit soul covered by the illusory potency of the Lord. We are praying hard, taking shelter of the lotus feet of our spiritual master, of Srila Prabhupada, of Parampara, and ultimately Lord Krishna, and living our lives in association with the devotees. So then, Vismrta Atmakam won't happen. We will remind each other of ourselves as part and parcel of Krishna, as servant of the Lord. Any questions or comments before we move on?
I have a question.
Yes.
This verse is talking about forgetfulness, and it talks about how even demigods go through that remembrance and forgetfulness. I was thinking a lot of times we have read that forgetfulness is so important because if we don't remember our past lives and all the pain that we have gone through, then we can keep moving on in life.
Yes.
But why is it that then we also forget the little glimpses of bliss that we get in our spiritual life? Because if we remember that sort of bliss, then when we go through pains in our life, in our current life, then we can be more attached to Krishna. So then why do we forget about those blissful moments?
So we are just, the few angles we can speak about. First of all, we have just come to Krishna consciousness. So obviously the conditioning is very, very strong. So that makes us forget, a lot of things. I don't even remember what I had for dinner last night or for lunch yesterday. So forgetfulness can be an asset, but at the same time, forgetfulness can be a liability. And that's the reason that Prabhupada gave us a daily program. He didn't tell us, go to the temple like church once a week. He said, follow a daily program in the morning and in the evening, and during the work and during sleep. Then you can start to remember Krishna. These 8 hours of work and 6-7 hours of sleep, we generally don't remember Krishna. But with the morning program, we can remember the Lord. Second angle, of course, is we do not want to remember all the miseries and all the mistakes we did in the past. That will not help us at all. That will help us in a way that, yes, we will learn lesson from there. But if it makes us very depressed, then it is better that we forget those miseries. And that's the reason we are asked to again and again and again and again hear, keep on hearing, keep on hearing, keep on hearing. And these things are just completely necessary for us. And that's why Prabhupada, he said, I could not emphasize enough the power of association, the power of your own sadhana. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does in a way, but I still don't understand why do we forget the moments which is going to help me remember Krishna more, like the blissful moments?
Because of the conditioning.
Right, okay.
And when we do it more and more and more, then we'll always remember, if many times we see after some time, when devotees are in difficulty, we just, oh Krishna, oh Krishna.
Yes.
Immediately we say that. Yeah. When some difficulty happens, when you're in a plane, some turbulence happens, Krishna, help me. Some difficulties come. So we are trying to come to that situation where we are getting out of our conditioning and trying to remember our eternal position and our eternal master, Lord Krishna.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, this is a gradual process. This is a phase, which one of us has to go through. But again, as we know, when the example is given, when a fisherman, he goes to the ocean to put his boat, he tries to put the boat inside and the waves push him back. He tries once again, waves push him back. He tries more and more, but each time when he's trying, the boat is going a little inside, little inside, little inside. A stage will come when the boat is actually floating on its own on the deep water. So a stage will have to come when we are like that. When the material energy pushes us back, we have to push back more and more and more till a time comes when we are stable on the path of bhakti, and we understand everything is Krishna's mercy. Does it make sense?
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything? Because I want to speak on Lord Varaha Dev also. It's Varaha Dvadasi today, very auspicious day. So if any questions are there, either you can direct message me. Then we continue with this verse 10, 14, 45. Uchusa Shuridam Rida Krishnam Shuridah Krishnam Swagatam Te Tirhansa Naikopi Abhijo Abhoji Kavala Ehita Sadhu Bhujyatam. Uchuhu, they spoke, Cha and Surida, the friends, Krishnam to Lord Krishna, Suagatam, we say Swagatam, Suagatam, have come all the way back. Te, you, Ati Ramhasa, very quickly, na, not, Ekaha, one, Api, even, Abhoji, has been eaten, Kavalaha, morsel, Ehi, please come, Itaha, here, Sadhu, properly, Bhujyatam, take your meal. Translation and purport. The cowherd boyfriend said to Lord Krishna, you have returned so quickly. We have not eaten even one morsel in your absence. Please come here and take your meal without distraction. Purport. The word Swagatam, Teti Ramhasa indicate that the cowherd boys were congratulating Lord Krishna for having brought the cows back so quickly from the forest. Now Lord Krishna's beloved friends urged him to sit down properly and eat to his full satisfaction. According to Srila Prabhupada's Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cowherd boyfriends felt quite jubilant and were eager to eat with their dear friend Krishna. So Krishna is back. The covering of Yogmaya has been sort of like taken off. And now they're saying, okay, Krishna, you've come back so quickly. Ati Ramhasa, very quickly. Swagatam. Swagatam means have come all the way back. Now, generally, when we use Swagatam, we also use the word Suswagatam. Suswagatam means, we are happily welcoming you to our house or where, to our temple, wherever we are. So Krishna has come back very quickly. And even though one whole year has passed, the cowherd boys are speaking. Surida Krishna. Surida means the friends who are very close to our hearts. So they are addressing to Lord Krishna, who is very dear to their hearts. And we saw previous verse that he is the life and soul of their lives. They're welcoming him and saying that actually, when you've gone to get the cows, we thought it will be half an hour or at least 1 hour or something, but like you have come within half a moment. Now let's come enjoy the picnic without any more distraction, because they know that on a daily basis, before lunch, generally, the distraction of demons happen and Krishna kills them. But the pastimes, even though they are adventurous, but they still think that it's distracting their lunch. So they're saying, let us now take our meal without distraction. So we'll stop here. I want to speak something about Varaha Dvadasi because today is the very auspicious day of Varaha Dvadasi. In Jayadev Goswami's the Dashavatara Stotra, he glorifies Lord Varaha. Prabhupada says Lord Boar, the Lord Boar incarnation. Vasati dasna sikre dharani tav lagna Shashini kalanka kale vanimagna Keshav dhrita shukra rupa Jai Jagdish Hare Jai Jagdish Hare Jai Jagdish Hare. So Vasati Dashana Shikre Dharani Tavalagna. O Lord of the universe, O Keshav, Keshava Dhrita Shukra Rupa. So Shukra is a form of a boar, Varaha Rupa. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a boar, all glories to you. And then the pastime is described in one line. The earth, which had become immersed in the Garbhodaka ocean at the bottom of the universe, sits fixed upon the tip of your tusk like a spot upon the moon. So Varahadev, there are two Varahas as we know. There's a Shweta Varaha and there's Rakta Varaha. In the Bhāgavatam, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that when Maitreya is describing this pastime to Vidurji, he's actually amalgamated both the pastimes. And scriptures say that when one pastime has happened, very, very long time ago, sometimes they are amalgamated. So, of course, this pastime, when we see the one which is described by Jayadeva Goswami, is that Brahma is speaking to his son Manu and asking him to create progeny. And Manu is asking, where can I do that? Which place? And where will the progeny live? Because by then the earth, because of mining of gold by Hiranyaksha, had tilted and it had gone down in the Garbhodakshai ocean. Garbhodak ocean, sorry, in the Garbhodak ocean. And Brahma says, okay, so, what is the best way to take out Mother Earth? And then he is meditating, and then he thinks the only person we can request is our Almighty Lord Krishna. So Vishnu comes he comes out as a boar, a very minuscule boar. He comes out of Brahma's nostrils. And then within moments, he grows and grows, and it just becomes a very gigantic boar. You can imagine to lift Mother Earth on the tusk, how big, how magnanimous, how giant Lord Varahadev has to be. So Lord Varahadev goes, and while he's bringing up the Mother Earth on his tusk, Hiranyaksha is getting very angry, and then there's a fight ensuing, and Hiranyaksha, of course, knew that this is Vishnu, my family's perpetual enemy. So Hiranyaksha is trying to attack Lord Varahadev, and after a little bit of fight, Varahadev just slaps him once with his forefoot, and he kills Hiranyaksha. So then, of course, Mother Earth is the wife, Bhudevi is wife of Vishnu, wife of Varahadev. So very wonderfully, these two pastimes are described in Srīmad Bhāgavatam. One happened in Chakshusha Manu's reign, and one happened in the Swayambhu Manu reign, which is discussed in Srīmad Bhāgavatam. Prabhupada says in the third canto, I'll just in the third canto, when the description is given by Maitreya to Vidur, he says, according to Jiva Goswami, the literatures describe two incarnations, two different devastations. One is in Chakshusha devastation, the other one is in Swayambhuva Manu devastation. And this particular appearance in the third canto, which is described, took place in the Swayambhuva Manu devastation. And Vishwanath Chakravarti also describes that the inhabitants of planet Earth actually saw this incarnation. And when the Earth was merged, when a lot of the planets, except the higher ones, except the Jana, Mahar, and Satyaloka, the topmost planets, the topmost three planets, except them, all the other planets were merged in the water of devastation. And the incarnation of boar was seen by the inhabitants of these planets. So Vishwanath Chakravarti says that Maitreya Muni has amalgamated these two pastimes into one, and this is also authorized. So today is Varaha Dvadasi. We should pray that may Varahadev give us also strength to lift our own consciousness from the bottom of the pit to somewhere higher by our own sadhana. So we end with the prayer, O Lord Varahadev, please bless us that we don't get doubts, we don't get distracted, we don't get dryness in our sadhana, and with our sadhana we can lift our consciousness up so that we can serve and serve Srila Prabhupada, serve the Parampara, and ultimately serve you as Lord of our life and soul eternally. Thank you very much. It's 7 o'clock. If there are any questions, comments, or reflections, please unmute yourself and share. Or you can also send me a direct message, as some of you do.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I just have one thing. Today is we have to break the fast, or no, we have to continue fasting till noon.
No, today is feasting time. So break the fast and feast.
Okay,
Because
because
today is the
today
appearance day.
Varaha. Okay.
Yes. What happens is, because if you fast today, for example, of Vamana Dvadasi and Varaha Dvadasi are special days where fasting is done, half day fasting is done on Ekadashi day. Because technically, after you perform Ekadashi Vrata, next day you have to break your fast.
Okay.
And if you do half day fast, then the breakfast time is gone.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that's why we fast half day on the Ekadashi day, on Varaha Dvadashi, Vaman Dvadashi, like that, so that we can break. We have already observed the fast the previous day for Varahadev. We have also observed Ekadashi, and today we can break the fast during breakfast time. And yes, so can we come to your house, Mataji, today for lunchtime?
Please, Prabhu, come.
That's the reason we feast today.
Yeah, okay, Prabhu. And tomorrow we have to do half day fasting.
Half day fasting for Nityananda appearance day. Yes, half day fasting.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very
Someone
much.
asked me a question whether fasting is even from water. Actually, Prabhupada allowed us to drink water. But fasting is not mainly so that we can't eat. Fasting is mainly so that we save time from chopping, cooking, cleaning, eating, and all that. We can spend more time in chanting, reading, and remembering the Lord.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare
Any other
Krishna.
questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Pranam. Ramdas
Hare
here.
Krishna.
Just a comment. I think Sneha Bhakti Mataji, someone asked that question earlier about why we cannot remember the blissful moments in Krishna consciousness. So in 15:15 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "From me comes forgetfulness as well." So sometimes if Krishna makes us forget, then we become more greedy to be better devotees and perform our devotional service better. But if we sometimes think and remember those events, we may become proud that, hey, we are good devotees. So sometimes Krishna, that's the only thing Krishna doesn't appreciate in his devotees is the pride. So sometimes he might even, make us forget our blissful moments as well. So we endeavor more to be better in our devotional life.
Yes, thank you very much, Guruji. That's a wonderful angle to see that Krishna makes us forget, what we become proud of or what we can become proud of.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So everyone have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Meditate on Lord Varahadev. And tomorrow is Nityananda Trayodasi. We are having a festival at the Brisbane Bhakti Yoga Hare Krishna Temple in Burbank, starting from 5:30. Marketplace of Love from 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock Aarti, and then the feast. Hare Krishna. Granth Raj Srīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you.